Welcome back, everybody. It's Cape Rugby TV. Nice to have you along. We carry on talking club rugby. Well, of course, Score 7's coaches in the line-up this week, as was last week. We haven't had a chance to catch up with the coaches. Well, we certainly didn't have a chance to catch up with them on the day. It was so busy, even though we were live broadcasting for close on 5 hours. And, of course, we did the live draw as well. But it is that time of year where we spend our time catching up with coaches and captains, and we find out how things are going in the world of club rugby, and we keep everybody connected. Jarques Heyns is the head coach for Albion's Rugby Football Club 7 side. Joins me now. Jarques, welcome to Cape Rugby TV. Nice to have you here.
Thank you, JP. It's a Young Peoples Rugby Club.
What did I say?
Albion's.
Did I say? Oh, that's a big problem, eh?
Yes, very big one.
That's big trouble, yeah, that's big trouble. Okay, well, let's start right there. Albion's has been one of the top sevens rugby sides for a while now. Did you think that Albion's was going to be a threat to you in the sevens?
Yes, JP, we actually played them the last game of our group, and that was the determining game who's going to Newlands, and that was a very difficult game, especially for the last 5 minutes. We only played with 5 men, and we were really struggling to get a grips with their play. But as I said, we defended very well, and at the end we beat them 12-10 with 5 men.
Jacques,
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the preparation. Of course, we had 2 weeks of round robin before Newlands, before the big day at Newlands. But there was quite a lot of talk about clubs that had actually made an attempt to practice and train and get fit. Tell us a little bit about your preparation in the build-up to the sevens.
Our preparation didn't go actually very well because there were some arguments with playing fields, practice fields, with our local municipality, and then Western Province need to intervene, and actually we were allowed to practice. But as I said, we have a big squad, but actually only 15 boys could play, and but as I said, we prepared very well for this tournament, because our ultimate aim was to play at Newlands. That is from the very start. That was our ultimate focus, to prepare well, to go through the group stages, and ultimately to play at Newlands.
So you managed to get into the finals at Newlands then without much pre-season training, so to speak. Then did you really use the 2 weeks in the build-up, in the round robin phases, in the pool stages? I mean, that must have been quite difficult to get everything going, because, I mean, we spoke to some of the coaches as well, and it's all about synchronizing the players and keeping everybody in a rhythm and getting to that level where the players are almost speaking their own language must be quite difficult.
Yes, it is, especially because we are slow starters at all the tournaments. Our first game is actually our most difficult game. But as I said, we need to prepare our guys mentally, because, as I said, our ultimate aim was to play at Newlands. And whilst we were playing at our home field here at Forest Street, our guys were very much more motivated, especially at the practice field, because we've told them that there's ultimately only 15 that can play at Forest Street and ultimately go to Newlands. So that was an extra motivation for our guys. Many of our senior players retire from sevens, and that is why we play with a very young team. There's only our captain that is in his late 30s, but he's actually the glue that hold the team together. But as I said, you can see even on the practice field, our guys were very motivated, very focused, and they work hard, because ultimately we want to be successful at Newlands.
It's been a tough 2 years for club rugby, Jacques. Players have not been able to see each other. Coaches have not been able to coach. How was the feeling for the players just to be able to play again?
Yeah, apart from our ultimate aid for Newlands. Our players was very excited to just to be on the practice field even, and and to prepare for the tournament wasn't actually very difficult because they know exactly, they're excited, they are motivated, they worked hard, because this stop-start to the season was actually very difficult. Just as we reach our climax and we want to compete, and then everything was done and dusted again, and then we must restart, we must refocus, and it's very difficult just to get that group of players back on the practice field again, because they are demotivated just because we are in a groove and now we must start all over again. But as I said, we were focused. We as a coaching team were motivated, and we know exactly that the players, they want to compete. They just want to play irrespective where.
Well, it did look like they were just loving every minute of it. One of the games that you played, it was against Gardens. Let's take a look at some of the highlights here, and then we'll see what you thought of the game. Jacques, Tigerberg and Gardens, at least not Tigerberg and Gardens, Young Peoples and Gardens. Gardens is also one of the newcomers into the space here. How did you find that match against Gardens?
You see, the thing is this: we watched Gardens against Tigerberg, and we knew, we already mentally prepared ourselves for tough match against Tigerberg. But unfortunately, we didn't know what happened in that game. But Gardens blew them from the field, and then we were really much motivated for that final, because it's the first time in years that we played in a final, and especially a final at Newlands. There was no way that we're going to lose that final, and that was the extra motivation for that game against Gardens. We play them wide and then attack through the mid, and you can see every time we attack through the mid, we scored. And it was, I think, in the last few minutes, then we allowed them 2 tries, but the guys already done the good work, and we beat them convincingly.
Jacques, we're going to leave it at that. Fantastic chatting with you. Great performance in the score sevens, and of course we We hope to be catching up with, staying in contact at least over the next few weeks as we talk to the coaches and captains in our roundtable.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity, JP.
There we go, folks. Jarques Heyns is of course, the head coach of Young Peoples, and it's great to see the smile that Jarques brings to the table and the geest that the players at Young Peoples that we know that they have, and that really is fantastic. It's exciting speaking to the coaches now and just bringing back that feeling of sevens rugby, especially at Newlands. We'll be back after the break. Don't go away.